your heart lie? You want to do this? How much longer?
I mean, I really try to take it one fight at a time, and the one thing is, I'm a fighter before anything, and when I retire, I want to be serious about it. I don't want to kind of retire. I want to do it for real, and I never want to have those doubts or 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and I know it's going to be hard for me to be able to see someone that I know that I can beat holding the belt. And when I feel like I got to that point where I can really let it go and let somebody else take it and give it up and not think to myself like, oh, I could beat that person too, and just be like, you know what, it's time for somebody else to have it, regardless if I know I'd beat them or not. And that day hasn't come yet. And after every single fight, I reassess and I make that decision all over again. You know, if I tried to plan 2 years from now, 2 years ago, I would have no clue about that all this would have happened. So for me to speculate years into the future now, I learned my lesson. I accept that I have no idea.
Are there any fights you want to absolutely have before you retire?
Yeah, I mean,
Why are you laughing back there?
Because she doesn't want to talk about it.
I mean, it's not a secret. I've said before that the first women's MMA fight that I ever saw was Gina Carano. It was her and Julie Kedzie, and not only did I admire what they were doing, but I was just in awe of the reaction the guys in the room were giving them. And I just remember sitting there and thinking, like, I could totally beat both of these chicks right now, you know, like in a respectful sense. I wasn't saying that they sucked or anything, but the guys would be like, "Wow, they're really throwing down. Ooh, they're really cute." Like, and they were just talking and such. They were so animated during the girls' fight, and I remember watching them and thinking, I'm like, I would be able to beat both of them in a minute, like, and I really wanted to be in there so bad. I wanted to be them, ever since I saw Gina win that fight, I always wished, I'm like, oh man, I wish I could fight Gina. And whether she ever wants to fight again or not is entirely up to her. But ever since that day, I got that first taste of women's MMA, she's always been the fight that I wanted.
The other one that seems to come to mind all the time, a little hostility there, but Cyborg is the other one that people always talk about, a potential super fight.
I've always wanted that fight. I've always wanted to fight her, but the thing is, she's the one that ran away. I mean, they announced out of competition drug testing in the UFC, and within 24 hours she asked for a release. And then she started saying that, oh, I won't be able to make 135 because then I won't be able to, it'll make it hard for me to have kids. I'm like, you didn't give a flying fuck about how the steroids would affect your kids. I put an over-under on your miscarriages now just on that. So it's just a bunch of hypocrisy. She doesn't want to fight. She doesn't want to. She would have made it by now. Even Dolce, we offered to pay Dolce to do it.
No, I get the surrounding, this circumstance, extending in circumstance. I was talking about for you, for your resume, when you walk away from this game, wouldn't it be nice to have, you know, the W's over certain people, and she won.
Really, I would never lose sleep at night over Cris Cyborg in any situation. If she wants to come and get her ass beat, she knows where I'm at. She's known where I'm at. But she's not making any effort to get there. Apple.
So speaking of fights, this Alexis Davis thing, is she somebody that you always felt you would fight? If I remember correctly, if Misha was the matchmaker, that's what she suggested back when there was the build-up before yours in her first fight. She said, you know, she should fight Kaufman, and maybe you and Alexis should fight. And Alexis was kind of the fourth woman in that whole situation. Mm-hmm. Did you always see that eventually she would be somebody that you would fight?
Yeah, I always felt like she was really underestimated, and I thought when I was watching the fight between her and Kaufman that it was really close, and that that decision could have gone either way. And if Alexis got that decision, I think a lot more people would have been expecting me to fight Alexis very soon. And that's just the way that the judges saw it that day. I think it was a split decision, actually. And she's not any less of a fighter because of the opinion of one person. And I've always thought that she was a real serious contender. And I'm glad that the fans really demanded this shot for her. And, there's a lot of fan demand for her. And I think she definitely deserves it. And I'm glad that we're having this fight now.